I'd like to call this August 11th council work session and regular meeting to order. Would everybody please rise for a moment of silence, and let's remember all of those who passed away during the month. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Gilling, will you roll call, please?
Mr. Pezza, Ms. Cohen. Here. Ms. Rodriguez. Mr. Cousins.
Here.
Ms. Figueroa.
Here.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Petroci.
Here.
Mr. Di Giuseppe.
Here. So we don't hold up Ted too long. I'm going to let Ted Durant from PICO go to the podium and update us on this project.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ted Durant. I'm PICO's External Affairs Manager here in Bucks County. Many of you recognize me, some of you may not, but I am the borough's liaison for PICO. I'm here this evening. I want to give a brief update on the project that's been ongoing in the borough. That is the remediation of the manufactured gas plant, which is located at Mifflin and Linden Streets in the borough. As most of you may know, PICO has been engaged in the remediation of that manufactured gas plant. And I'll just take a minute and a half to explain what a manufactured gas plant is for some of you who may be less familiar. But back at the turn of the century, I'm talking the 20th century, there were plants that manufactured natural gas for purposes of operating street lights and providing fuel to homes and businesses in the borough. And they were small plants, and over the course of time, PICO acquired many of them. And then back in the early 2000s, we made the commitment to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection to voluntarily clean up those manufactured gas plants. And those plants, as I said, manufactured natural gas, and the residue that they left behind was a solid material, much like a tar-like substance that adhered to the soil. So PICO engaged in a voluntary effort to clean up the plants that we took ownership of over the course of time. And since 2007, we've been engaged here in the borough to clean up a manufactured gas plant that existed at the location of Mifflin and Linden Streets. You may recall that the first effort that we engaged in after we announced that we would do this back in 2007 was to do some work at an electric substation that we had at that intersection there. And we started by cleaning up that site. We actually demolished the electric substation at that location, did site cleanup. Back in we started that effort in 2010. 2015, we moved over across the street to the Goodwill Hose Company. And on that site, there was product left behind by the manufactured gas plant. And we initiated an effort there to clean that up. And we've been moving to adjacent properties since that time. And now we are about to begin what we believe will be the last phase of this project, which is to initiate cleanup for several off-site properties located to the east and south of the original site. So I'm just here tonight to inform the borough that we will be holding a open house on September 17th. The place of that open house will be the Goodwill Hose Company. We'll start at 6 and end most likely by 8 o'clock. And we'll give everyone that attends the opportunity to learn more about the work that we intend to do to continue on and hopefully close out the soil remediation project and give you the schedule and some of the other information and ask questions. So we'll have our team of people there. People will have the opportunity to come and ask questions and learn more about what we intend to do. And we will be sending out letters to the neighborhoods surrounding that area to let folks in the immediate area know that we're going to be holding the open house. And we'll also make sure that the borough has information that they can post up about the fact that that open house will take place. So that's what we have in store. I'll just end by saying to you that up through August of 2024, PICO has spent about $23 million on the remediation to date, up to that point in time, and we anticipate that by the time we get finished with this, what we hope to be the last phase, we'll have spent about $37 million for the cleanup. And again, we'll be happy at the time when we have the open house to talk to folks in the neighborhood and anyone else that may want to attend and provide them information. So that's it. I appreciate the chance to.
I appreciate you coming in, Ted, and updating us, and hopefully some council members will be able to make it. Lee is from that ward, so maybe Lee can make it that night.
Absolutely.
Anybody have any questions? AJ, you have any questions? Okay, thanks, Ted.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good meeting, everyone.
Sure. With Ted?
Just following up off of the ECO project, I just wanted to make a mention, it's also part of our annual obligation to talk publicly about the borough's MS4 program, the Stormwater Management Program. We're hopeful, working with PICO, that we can kind of dovetail off their construction and implement a bioswale in the wooded area that is where this project's extending down into. And if we're able to do that, we're hopeful that DEP views that as meeting a substantial amount of the pollution reduction plan. That is something that they give you targets that you have to achieve based on how much TMDL you can reduce in a waterway. So anyways, I just wanted to make that announcement and get that on record for our annual compliance.
Thank you.
I've worked with PICO and ACOM on this project because we have manage a property where there's a well, and they've been very good for the past few years. I mean, very attentive to everything, and I've coordinated with Gilmore Associates when I got some information also, but they were really good at trying to dovetail that project in so we don't spend the money twice on doing the same thing. So they've been very, very good to work with.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Ted. Anybody else in the public have anything they want to go to the podium and speak on? State your name and address for the record.
Hi, John Hagee, 505 Washington Street. Hi, neighbor.
How are you?
Good, how are you? I'm new to Bristol, been here a little over a year, bought the house 2 or 7 years ago, but I'm here to talk about the late night train horns that's probably been brought up before. I was kind of confused about what was going on. I wasn't sure where it was coming from, and then one night it just kept going and going and going. I finally got dressed. It was like 2 a.m. I get in my car, I follow the sounds to the Dow plant. So now, okay, I figured I was coming from the Dow plant, and there was a borough policeman there because I was waiting for the train to move. It was sitting there clanging away, and I asked, and he said that they're moving empty cars. So this is, I think, really pretty much the sole source of the horns is Dow Chemical. And I did some research, and what we're hearing are the 4 horn blasts. So it's 2 long, a short, and a long. That's what you hear exclusively at night, over and over again when they're busy. So that means that they're crossing a grade level street. In this case, it's Route 413. They go down to State Street, which is just a light crossing, and then it keeps going to River Street, yeah, which is just a marked crossing. So at each one of those, they're going to blow the horn, and those horns you can hear for miles. I don't know what to tell you. So, so I started to do some research on, what can be done, and the first thing that came up was quiet zone. But since Dow is in Bristol Township, they would have to set up the quiet zone. A quiet zone is you set up some additional safety measures so that the trains don't have to blow horns. That usually means gates or barriers to keep cars from going across lanes, or it means 4 gates. And I learned that, and that would be prohibitively expensive to do that to the 3 crossings that are causing the sound. And then the other thing is I posted this on Nextdoor. I don't know if any of you are on Nextdoor. Got a few some responses, but I didn't really get anybody from Bristol Township, even though that's in Bristol Township. And I think I know why. I think it's the Northeast Corridor berm, the 20-foot high berm that it sits on. That shadows the sound for them. So I don't think they hear it nearly as bad as we do. It literally focuses it right up north. So that may be why, that they're not, care about it. They don't hear it as well. So doing some more research, I found some rules along with some videos on YouTube where I'm seeing these same kind of activities, which is done by Eastern Pennsylvania Railroad, is what's moving these cars along the Bristol Industrial Track to and from mainly the 2 Dow chemical plants. I think they're also storing things along the way too. Excuse me. And I'm seeing these videos on YouTube, and I'm seeing the same kind of operations, again, the Pennsylvania Railroad, crossing at Route 13, which is very similar to Route 413, but no horns are blown. They're going across silently. Sometimes they go across silently, sometimes they blow the 4 horns that you'd expect. I'm thinking, well, what's the difference? And what it is when they push trains, in other words, the locomotive is pushing the cars, they don't blow the horns. I think it's because you don't blow a horn if it's a football field away and the car that's crossing has already crossed. The first car is crossed when the engine's pushing it. I think that's why. And in that case, what they have is a guy hanging off the front of the cargo car looking to see if there's any traffic. Because there's no gates there. There's no gates at any of these crossings. It's all just lights and the horns. So I found in the Federal Railroad Administration that there's really a rule here that if you're going under 45 miles an hour and you have flaggers, which are the flagmen, you don't have to use your horns. And that's what they're doing regularly right now during the daytime. So my question is, can they do that all the time? Can we ask them to do that all the time?
So just to let you know, we've been dealing with Conrail.
I'm sure. Well, this isn't Conrail. Well, this isn't Conrail. This is Pennsylvania Railroad, I think.
We met with congressmen, we met with state reps.
The CEO of Conrail.
Why don't you explain that?
Well, my only 2 cents would be that we've been dealing with this for years. I mean,
Okay.
even before I ever sat up here as the mayor, I'm a resident that lives close to the rail spur near the Amish market. And for 15 of the years that I first lived in my house, we never had any issues with horns or crossing tracks or anything of that nature. And over the last 5 years or so, it's been nothing but a nightmare. And we deal with the horns as they cross over Green Lane now, like the underpass. We deal with those horns all night long. So we talked as a group, can we create the quiet zone that you were talking about? Like, we've had numerous meetings with our congressman and Conrail. Like, we are trying to do whatever we can for the overall improvement of quality of life in town.
Right.
But it is a slow grind when you're dealing with someone like Conrail.
Well, is it Conrail or I thought it was
Conrail owns the tracks, so they're the ones we deal with.
Well, but it's I'm talking about specifically the Bristol Industrial Railway. That's the small tracks that they use. I don't think that's Conrail, is it?
What specific area?
Between the Dow chemical plant in Bristol and the Dow chemical plant in Croydon. I think that's the majority of the traffic between those two things. It's just a regional rail that's run by Pennsylvania.
Have you spoken in the township about this?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
You haven't, 'cause when you said it.
Well, yeah, that was when I thought, oh, we needed an official act of setting up a quiet zone. But I don't think they're going to spend the $500,000 it would be to add 3 gates to those crossings, you know. Plus, I don't think they hear it because they're behind the Northeast Regional berm. They're kind of like shadowed from it, I think. But
Congressman Fitzpatrick awarded the borough $1.7 million to build a sound wall in Harran for that. But the study came back. We don't even know if it's going to work. So there's so much going on, but Conrail has their own rules. So you could cite him, you could do what you want.
well, but could you ask Dow? Say, hey, Dow, could you tell your
Talk to everybody. We have meetings out there with Dell, right, about cleaning up their property and. Yeah.
Well, I guess the thing that sticks in my mind is that they're operating silent crossings of Route 13 all the time. They're doing it.
Well,
So, and all it takes is somebody hanging off the edge of the train to make sure it's clear. Now, that might not be by the book. I have a feeling they should be on the ground, kind of ahead of it, flagging it. But they just hang off the edge, and then if it's clear, they keep going. And it's silent. I have videos I can show you. If they had screens, I'd put it up, but you can see when they use the horns, the engine's in front. When they don't use the horn, the engine's in the back. And it's silent.
Here's what I'm going to recommend. And I appreciate all your research, and I'm impressed about all this. Why don't you just email the manager, and you and him try to figure something out? Maybe we can make some more contacts or whatever.
Okay.
I think it'll. You mind, Jim?
No, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Oh, and James, thanks for taking care of those trees outside on the border of my property in the Spurline Trail. You took down some trees for me.
Borough tries to be very responsive to.
So email Jim, tell him what information you have, a couple bullet points, and go from there.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that ends public participation. Okay, Lorraine, you have anything?
I don't have anything.
Maria?
Yes, I do. I first want to congratulate the Puerto Rican Cultural Association of Bucks County for a successful, great festival. It was one of our biggest ones, so I want to congratulate them. Also, as your North Ward Councilwoman, I am encouraging you to reach out to me or to Councilman Brian Johnson with any questions or concerns instead of posting on social media. We cannot address what we don't know. I also encourage you to stay informed about important issues and upcoming happenings by visiting the the official website at bristolborough.com for regular updates, as well as watching our meetings. Comcast channel is 965, and for Verizon channel is 33. How you can reach us by sending an email to me would be mfigueroa@bristolborough.com, and for Councilman Johnson at bjohnson@bristolborough.com. Or you can go to the website, click on boards, then click on Borough Council, and that will provide you with a list of all council members email address. And if you don't have access to email, you can call the office and ask one of the girls to send us a message. And they will forward the message to us. They will contact us and provide us. Just leave your name and phone number. The other thing that I want to address is Amtrak. I have worked very hard to establish a relationship with Amtrak. Getting them to come for maintenance is not easy. For we are not the only town that they deal with. And they also travel long distance to get here. So when you see the Amtrak guys working, please, let's treat them with respect and not lash out at them. Remember that we are not the only town they deal with, and they can easily choose to go elsewhere where they are not disrespected. So if you see them out there working, please just treat them with respect and not lash out at them. If you have any questions, contact me instead. And that's it.
Thank you. Louis?
Okay, I wanted to give a thanks to the Puerto Rican committee. The Puerto Rican Day was a very successful event, and really it was a very nice, happy event through the whole day. And also the National Night Out, I want to thank the chief and the police who handled this event. It was very nice to see all the kids out in town. I know I spoke to the people from Lower Bucks Hospital who gave out book bags and different goodies inside to a lot of kids, and the AOC was also there, along with the fire companies and the policemen. So it was and the rescue squad also was there. So it was a very good event. There's been some concerns about parking. This is an age-old problem in town. We try to work on it the best we can. I know some of the emails that we've gotten recently addressing this. There's just not enough curb space in town to have everybody park conveniently. But we're going to start working on this again to try to clean up some issues. I know there are some issues with people parking trailers and boats and stuff like that on some of the areas, and also people not parking. Somebody's parks in the middle of two spaces, and I think again we have to look at lining some of these streets so people know where they can park their cars. When you have driveways or fire hydrants, it's tough to do, but this is gonna be a new focus for in the fall. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Lee?
Yes, the dovetail of what was stated by Ms. Figueroa and Mr. Katorchi, in terms of transparency and really respectfulness. Westport people specifically, I know that we're coming into a season that's going to be very busy in Westport with sports starting up again and in and out traffic from Mill Street and Otter Street. What I'm going to ask respectfully of the residents is to be patient, to understand that We have visitors coming in from other areas, and they're looking for parking spaces and things of that nature. But I would also like to, in terms of respect, those that are familiar with, the West Ward and parking situations, that be respectful of the homeowners and their parking spaces and things of that nature. If there's another area you can park, we would very much respectfully ask that you would utilize those areas instead of parking in front of the residents' houses. And going back to what Mr. Catroci said about parking has always been an issue, but it's going to be even more of an increasing issue as the town continues to boom. And again, addressing it in the flaws that we're looking to do. But just be mindful, respectful of, and honestly just being cognizant of what's happening in town. It's very exciting to have people coming in and enjoying our fields and enjoying Mill Street. And, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to want to, take advantage of those things. So, but in terms of parking, just being respectful and being cognizant again of where you're parking and just being respectful in terms of that. But that's all I have.
Thanks. I only have a few things. I know I gotta get to the chief and the mayor, so just let me finish. First of all, Ann and Larcy wants everybody to know that a lot of the tax bills people haven't received yet. It's because it must be because of the post office, because some people received them, some people didn't receive them. So she just wants you to know to be patient, and if you don't receive your tax bills shortly, then, let her know what's going on, but give it a week or so to see what's going on. The other thing is, we've been dealing with the senior center across the street. So apparently they had some issues with insurance. They couldn't get insurance for the building because of, they said the age of the building and leaks on the building, and we know that the building needs a lot of work. So I talked to Jim, and we decided to insure this building under the borough's umbrella policy. So as of today, there is insurance if the building burns down, if there's liability. So the people that run the senior center, they don't have to worry about insurance anymore, which I think at one point they were saying it was like $1,200 a month. So it's a big savings to them. We're still working on some grants. I think, I don't know if Lebo or whoever's coming to the RDA meeting on Friday. We have an RDA meeting to discuss some of this, but it's a process. So the main thing is we got their insurance taken care of today, and they don't have, we just relieved them of a major bill. So it's covered under our umbrella policy. Jim, could you let them know tomorrow what's going on with that? Seniors. I think that's all I have right now. Mayor, what do you have?
Just a couple things. So first and foremost, I just wanted to take a minute to remember a longtime Bristolian who may not have lived here recently, but Mr. Bruce Jones passed away, for those of you who may not have been aware. Mr. Jones was an integral member of the operator engineer, and after the 1995 fire at Grundy Rink, he was very, very invaluable in helping to get the canal restored with the operator engineer. So please take a minute to remember Mr. Jones and his family and for all he did for Bristol Borough. The other thing I wanted to mention was, I mentioned a while back about someone reaching out to Amtrak, and Mr. Dillon reached out to Amtrak about our future vacancy that's coming up in the train station, and they are definitely interested, and I wanted to let the public know that they are coming here this Wednesday to take a tour of that train station and visit the site. So if we could make that happen with the vacancy we have there, that would be incredible police presence in our community, and also to have Amtrak in the borough within itself would be a huge value to the residents and the people on the commuter line. Next, by the time we meet next, it'll be back to school. So the children will be back in school. I just want to let the public know that we will continue to have a police officer in each of the school buildings in the borough, and that please, please, please take your time when driving through the school zones and obey the traffic signals. It's an exciting time for the borough children and the families, but we also need to make sure that you obey the traffic safety and the school zone signs. You should have on your desk, which the chief provided, what's called a PA micromobility fact sheet. This is a quick reference guide to all of these e-bikes and scooters and all the different things that you see flying around town. I just personally want to let people know that we are going to post this on our website. We're going to post this on the Borough television page. We will leave some copies here. We'll put it on our social media. But there are so many restrictions to these e-bikes and e-scooters that you see flying up and down the roadways. Most of them are not even legal on a public roadway, that we are just extremely concerned for the safety of these kids. I see people going 15 plus miles an hour on an e-bike or a scooter with no helmet, flying through the intersection of Pond and Jefferson. God forbid somebody is going to get seriously hurt. So we need to obey. There's a bunch of rules and regs as to when you need a helmet, when you don't need a helmet. Most of these things aren't even legal unless you're 16 or older. So please take a minute to give us some time, but go to our website or go to pa.gov and just Google micromobility fact sheet, and you will see all the rules and regs. Because the last thing we want is someone saying it was such a tragedy that someone, unfortunately got killed or injured, like you saw recently in PA and New Jersey with children 12 and 14 years of age that are no longer here. That is tragic, but we can help prevent that. So please take a minute to look at the rules and regs and just make sure the kids are doing the right thing when it comes to these e-bikes and these scooters. The last thing I want to mention is it's carnival time in the borough. For the past 30 years, I'm proud to say that, my family, especially my dad, who spearheads the whole thing, runs the St. Anne, St. Mark Parish Carnival, and it runs from August 18th to the 23rd. It starts at 6 p.m. every night at St. Anne's parking lot. We will have games of chance, rides for the kids, a ton of good Italian food and specialties, and Tuesday is Borough Night. Thanks to Bristol Environmental and the DeCaro family, the children of Bristol Borough get to ride the rides all night for free, and they get fed. You have to show up at the tax office to register your children so that you get a wristband that night. But thanks to the DeCaro family and Bristol Environmental, if you take the time and just put a little effort in and go into the tax office to let them know how many children you have and give them your name and information and fill out a form, your children can ride the rides and eat for free all night on Tuesday. And again, that starts at 6 p.m. That's all I have.
Okay, Jim, you have anything?
Just a couple comments. I want to thank Maura for focusing on the 2026 municipal grant projects, working with all the department heads and, trying to get the applications ready for the RDA. Maura's going to be going on vacation for a while, so putting a little pressure on her to get all this paperwork done before she leaves. But the projects that we're proposing deals with the Public Works backhoe, fire department equipment that we got requested from the fire department. Our emergency management coordinator is asking for a UTV vehicle, all-terrain vehicle. Chief is looking for a patrol car, and we're also looking at the concept of body cameras and GPS for the vehicles, as well as additional lighting on Mill and Radcliffe Street. So this is all part of the process. You're supposed to have a public hearing and have that type of discussion. So I just want to put that on the record. Also, I heard our council president was reappointed to the Bucks County Redevelopment Authority, which makes decisions on these projects. So congratulations, and it should be very beneficial to the borough. So
hopefully.
Mr. President, I would like to make a notation that council was in executive session for about 30 minutes prior to the meeting to discuss some personnel matters. They will not be discussed publicly, however.
Thank you. And just, I know a lot of people are asking about, are we doing the oldies on the river? Yes. And it will be on September 20th. It's always the third Saturday in September. So we are doing it on September 20th. It's going to start at 5 p.m. sharp. And come out, it's a good time for everybody. Okay, I think that's all I have. Lee, did you talk about this parking or no?
Yes, I mentioned parking.
You did?
For,
The bagel shop.
oh, no, that's only the Saturday.
What is it?
No, we're gonna talk about it, we can do it now.
He's going to do that during your public
Right,
meeting.
during the meeting.
During the public meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. All right, that ends. AJ, you have anything? Chief?
Chief.
Just real quick, as you all know, we had two really nice events for the kids. One on July 24th at the 21st Century Camp. We had the First Responders Day. All the police officers were there, the firefighters with their equipment, and Squad 143 from Bucks County Rescue came and bought their equipment. It was a great day to interact with the kids at the camp. There was 300 and some kids. We had water ice and pretzels provided by Papa's Pretzels on Mill Street. And then on August 5th, we had National Night Out, which was another huge event for the community and the kids. So there's a lot of people to thank, starting with the Borough Council. Thank you. This all couldn't happen without the support of you, the mayor, the school board, George Gatto and his employees at the school. I want to thank them because with both events, they helped us with the setup and the breakdown, which was a lot of work. They were both long days for everybody that was involved. But the whole idea is to foster these relationships with the kids in town, with the first responders, and have positive interactions. Try to get them involved, let them see the equipment, ask us the questions that they want to ask us. We need to start them younger because right now retention and recruitment is down in our professions. And I can sit here and talk for hours, and so can AJ and so can Ronnie about it. But I really believe our interactions with these children at an early age will benefit us in the long run in the future. So there's so many people to thank. Amita from home, Bristol Cares, and that helped us coordinate all this, and all the agencies that came to National Night Out. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say one thing. I don't think you realize how many kids and how many people in this town look up to you and respect you. You're doing an outstanding job for this borough. No matter where I go, they say you guys got a great chief. So I want you to know that.
Thank you.
I'd also like to say something. Since you've come on board as our chief, I think the relations with the kids have gone straight up. I mean, the impact that you have on our children in this town is so positive, you and your police officers, and I appreciate what you've done. I want you to know that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And just one more thing I just forgot. So on your desk, you have a blue envelope. What this is, it's a police officer spectrum awareness guide for traffic stops for autism subjects. We're going to discuss it. I want you to look at it for the month, and then we're going to discuss it and launch it with our co-responder and the mayor and I at the September meeting. Thank you.
Okay, so that ends our work session. We're going to go into our regular meeting. Anybody in the public have anything? That ends public participation.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept the council meeting minutes for July 14th, 2025, Treasurer's report for June 2025, Fire Chief report for July 2025, Inspection report for July 2025, Police report for July 2025, Public Works report for July 2025, Harb report for July 28th, 2025. Gilmore report dated August 25th for July 2025's work.
Do I have a second? Last Figueroa, questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 3.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to approve sign installation proposal to install recommended signage per the PA dot approved truck study on Beaver, Pond, and Ratcliffe Street. C. Kurt Schroeder, Gilmore and Associates, email dated 7/16/25, along with proposal dated 7/21/25 from ETC for a cost of $10,000 to fabricate and install the signs.
Second by Mr. Catroci. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve filing of list of projects for redevelopment authority, funding per Mar Dougherty memorandum dated 8/8/25.
Second by Ms. Coleman. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion approving the hiring of Yvonne Trossi as parking enforcer, ticket writer at $15 per hour.
Second by Ms. Figueroa. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 6.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve electrical proposal dated 8/7/2025 in the amount of $47,025 from Jason Bailey, G&G Electrical Construction, LLC, for dock repairs.
Second by Ms. Coleman. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we have something on the other business.
I know the business, I think Lee has a motion.
Go ahead, Lee.
Yes, I would like to put a motion on the floor to authorize the preparation for an ordinance to advertise 15-minute parking, 7 a.m. to 12 noon at 257 Ratcliffe Street.
So I got a second by Mr. Catroci. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anybody have anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second by Ms. Figueroa? Meeting adjourned.